Okay, so Susana Salamanca, lovely to meet you. Very nice to meet Facebook friends in real life, and Zoom is wonderful for this sort of thing, so we can actually see what each other looks like. So welcome to the programme. So you're on Elastic FM, Perfect Health with Elaine Godley today, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you for having me.
So I noticed you don't have an English accent, so English is your second language?
Yeah, it's my second language. I'm Spanish and my husband is British. So, you know, I here in the area where we live in Spain, there is a very big British community. So that's why, you know, I practice a lot my English.
Okay, so whereabouts is that in Spain?
This is southeast of Spain. It's Almeria. And it's a small village, but very touristic. It's called Mojácar.
Right.
And there is a big British community and, you know, other nationalities as well, but mainly British.
Right, okay, interesting. Okay, so your area of expertise is CBT?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and tell us a bit about, for the listeners, what CBT actually is and how it can help people.
Well, CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy and is based in, you know, that it's a fact that we have thoughts during all day, and those thoughts lead us to an emotion, and that emotion leads us to a behavior. So sometimes we are trapped in old patterns that we have learned, and we find ourselves in the same situation over and over again. So it's about the use of techniques to be able to break those patterns.
Okay, so is it, would you describe it as a talking therapy?
It can be talking, yes, you talk with the client and you guide the client, so you find what is the thought process they go through that leads them to have the issue they are addressing with you. So yeah, it's a talking therapy, but the way I use it is because I mainly work connecting with nature and connecting with horses. So we are in nature, and we normally do this with the help of horses. So that is my main approach. We liberate emotions as they arise as well. So we use different techniques to address any issue.
Okay, so that sounds intriguing. Horse-assisted therapy is how you've described it to me earlier. So explain what you actually do with the horses. I mean, do you see people in nature? So do you walk and talk, and then you pat a horse? Or, you know, how does
Exactly.
it work?
Well, here in the area, I have a center where we have horses, 19 horses, and other animals. So I meet in the center to my clients. So we sit quietly in nature, you know, the birds are normally singing in the background, and it's a really nice area. And then we chat a little bit. If it's the first session, you would tell me, you know, why are you coming to me? If it's a process, it's part of a process. Well, we revise how the week have been, and we establish what are we going to work on in this session. So then normally once that is established, they go for a walk. We have different paddocks with the horses, and they choose who is going to be their teacher today. So then we go to the horses, they connect with them in different ways, and that depends on the client and the situation at the moment. And then afterwards, we analyze what happened and how you dealt with the situation. I work a lot with metaphors, and metaphors normally, you know, the horse can represent maybe a person you need to heal a relationship with, or a part of yourself, or a situation that you is challenging in life. It can be anything. So we work through that, and it's really good because it's experiential, what means that you are solving the problem you have right here, right now. So afterwards, we just analyze what happened, what resources you used, what skills you developed. So you can have all that to go out there and use the same things that you used it to solve it in the metaphor, as we say.
Yeah, okay. So you have 19 horses. That's quite a big setup.
Yes, it is.
So presumably you do other things there, or maybe your husband, somebody.
No. This is an association I have with a German writer. He's the owner of the place, and what we have is that we rescue horses that,
oh goodness me,
they were going to be put down because, with the economical crisis that happened a lot in Spain, that they couldn't afford to maintain them, so they send them, to be put down. So we take some horses and we socialize them again, because some of them has been abused, and then we work with them for therapy or coaching or personal development. But they're not ridden, there is no other thing that happened there. It's just they live a nice life and they are happy to see me with people, because they are always willing to volunteer for the work. But that's
lovely. And they like people, the horses have their own temperaments and their own personalities, don't they?
Correct, yeah, they are so different. But what is amazing is that sometimes they change according to the person that they are interacting with, and that happens only during the sessions. That is quite amazing. Yeah.
Do you video any of this so that the person can sort of look to see how they were at the beginning and how they are at the end of a session?
I have many, I always take pictures if I can. Sometimes I'm really focused on observing, so I forget, but normally I took a lot of pictures. And sometimes, I record some short videos, but obviously those are for the person, because this is private.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, I always send them to the clients, because for them it's really rewarding and reinforcing, to see what happened, because sometimes they are not aware of
exactly
this happening really. So it's really nice for them, and they are always really happy to have that proof now, because it's rewarding when they are out there and they need to face.
Excellent. And every picture tells a story, doesn't it? So that when you can actually see, you can't see yourself, can you? But when somebody is saying something to you and you've got the proof of a picture, that's really good. So this is really interesting, because you and another lady who I've interviewed recently, in fact the first interview I did, are both horse retreats. They do horse retreats, and both with rescue horses. I mean, it's amazing. I've never come across horse rescue therapy type thing, and here I am interviewing two of you within about 2 or 3 weeks.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that lady was in Canada, so you're in Spain. Okay.
Yes.
So you also run something called Empowering Women, or is that the title, or is that what happens as a result of another program that you run?
Well, that is a very specific program that we did, I do, for women who have experienced domestic violence. And this started at the beginning of this year. And it was because a group of British women in this area who meet up once a month to, have a chat between them, but they also raise some money to give to causes locally. And they got in contact with me because they wanted to help women who have experienced any type of domestic violence. This is quite big in Spain, although it's a worldwide problem. But, in Spain, you put on the news and there is always something happening
really? That's
a
awful.
woman. Yeah, it's quite terrible. So they decided they wanted to help her, talk to me, and I started talking with the social services, the Red Cross in the area, and the press. And suddenly, in less than a month, we already had 5 women who wanted to join the program.
Wow.
So we don't charge them anything. It's just, I do this group of British women help me every month with something. And right now we have a campaign in GoFundMe to ask people, to support the cause. And it's been great since the beginning, because one of the women, in fact, finished 3 weeks ago, and another one joined, replacing her. And it's been fantastic for them. It's really reassuring. They build up their self-esteem, their confidence in others, because, these women have lost every, possible self-esteem that you can have. And what I found is that the main problem is that it's very common for these women that they have experienced abuse when they were children as well. So the trauma is quite deep, and we need to work a lot on that. But they are really happy. It's a really nice environment for them, because it's not challenging. You are in nature. It's really nice to be there. So the defenses, fall quietly, and it's easier to get to them and to help them.
Brilliant. And I guess, lost you. Where are you? Lost you off the screen. So I guess the horses, again, do they kind of self-select as to which horse is going to work with which woman in these situations, or do you have particular horses that are more attuned into this type of behaviour that they've experienced?
All of them are there, and we have different paddocks and with groups of horses, and they just walk by and decide which horse is going to be, or which group is going to be. You never know. And normally what happens is, some horses volunteer. They approach the fence and they say like something, look, I'm ready. And that happens, but that depends on the person, because some of them, choose the one who is not interested at all, and that tells you a lot about their relationships as well. So they are just there, and they decide who is going to be their teacher, and then we start working, approaching him and trying to connect. And that is the whole point. Then if we have established, to work in confidence, for instance, they need to maybe go around the horse, with totally confident, and to get there, that is the process.
Yes. Do you ride horses? What's your connection with horses?
Well, when I was a child, my family had horses, and I always had a connection. I always loved horses. But then, during my teenage years, I just was more worried about friends and social life. So I stepped away a little bit. But in 2000, more or less, when I was studying psychology, I started to read on internet about animal-assisted therapy. So I did different training, different courses about animal-assisted therapy, and I always thought, with horses, this must be amazing. And in 2005, my husband bought me a horse, like the first stone to build the center I wanted to
Wow.
build. So it all started there.
Brilliant. And I think I've read somewhere that you provide online help. So if people can't come to you in Spain and experience this wonderful courses that you do, people can tap into your expertise online as well. How does that work?
Yes, we can work just, CBT or coaching online through Skype or Zoom. We can do a normal session. Then I work with some homework as well. So if they have pets, or if they have opportunity to connect with some place where animals are present, I always give, advice how to do it. And then on our next session, we will work through that. We will discuss what happened and we can work that way.
Right. Okay. So that all sounds wonderful. So is there anything else that you'd like to talk about relating to your work or your lifestyle?
Well, the lifestyle, I live in a very small village in the area, but it's quite populated, especially now in summer. So yeah, it's really nice I always wake up calmly, I go to the horses, I run my sessions and come back, and I work in the afternoons online, which is great for me. I also this year I'm launching, because I normally hold workshops and retreats here in this center. But this year I decided I wanted to travel a little bit. So I'm holding my first retreat abroad, and it will be in Costa Rica at the end of this year. So,
oh, wow. That sounds very exotic. So what's going to happen in Costa Rica then?
Well, it's a 5 days, 4 nights retreat in a really nice retreat center. They normally do yoga retreats, but they were interested in what I do as well. So we prepared something special. So we will be in their retreat, enjoying a lot of me time and taking care of ourselves. But we have some excursions during the day. So one of them will be to a place where they have horses, and we will do the work I normally do.
Brilliant.
Another day, we will go to a wildlife rescue center where, it's about being mindful, being aware of our environment and the wildlife as well. So we will be taking care of the animals they have there. We will prepare mindfully their food, we will feed them, we will prepare the medicines and everything, and we will meditate with them. And then before going back, we will plant a tree, because they are also, reforesting the forest. So that is also very, metaphorical. You are planting a seed. That seed will represent a part of you that you want to grow, and you will leave it there and take care of it. So yeah, it will be great. And then we will go hiking as well to a waterfall, to get rid of everything that doesn't serve us anymore. So it will be really nice to reconnect with yourself through nature.
That sounds wonderful. I'm there. I'd like to come. It sounds absolutely gorgeous. Everything you've described sounds perfect. Retreats are getting more and more popular, aren't they? Lots of people are now doing retreats, but I think you have to offer something that's a bit different, and yours certainly is. So they're fabulous. I hope you do very well with it. So how can people book to work with you?
Well, in my website, which is freedreams.online/en for English language, they find all the tabs. They can find the Empowering Women tab, and they can go there. And if they want to support the cause, there is a link to GoFundMe. And then there is another one where you can read workshops and retreats. And there is one in Costa Rica, Learning to Fly, it's called.
Learning to Fly. Okay.
Yes.
But it's not really flying, is it? It's
not really. It's metaphorical again.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. I'm sure one day man will learn to fly. Miracles seem to be happening all the time, so who knows? Okay. So that's wonderful. Is there anything else that you'd want to expand on? We've just got a couple of minutes left.
Well, we have, you can find on my website as well, I have self-help courses that I sell. And, is that to deal with stress and anxiety or fears or, insomnia or eating problems. And that is for people who maybe are not ready to do formal therapy, but they need some help and they need some techniques to help them through their issues, so they can start with that. And then if they feel they want to follow their progression, they can contact me directly. But there they have very useful techniques to use in a daily basis, and they are really easy to apply to your daily life, and they help a lot to with stress, anxiety, and so on.
Okay, brilliant. That's excellent. So that's Free Dream Online.
Yeah, freedreams.online.
freedreams.online
/en.
/en, and that's for English speaking.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. freedreams.online /en.
Correct.
Brilliant. Okay. So, Susan Salamanca, it's been lovely speaking with you. Thank you so much for spending time with us this afternoon. And I look forward to reading more about your wonderful retreats.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It has been lovely to talk to you